Bienvenidos, fans of the hottest entertainment on the planet. I'm En Fuego here, continuing my coverage from the Fantasia International Film Festival 2026. Yep, 30th incarnation of this fabulous genre festival. Ask some of the biggest names in filmmaking. I mean, from Guillermo del Toro, Quentin Tarantino, just a vast array of others. It is in contention for the biggest and the best that you can find, on the globe. And I am not, unfortunately, up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, in the Great White North, enjoying that much more tolerable, nice weather. I'm doing this virtually another year in the deadly desert of Arizona, where we're pushing like 120 this week. It's a hellscape, but you know what is getting to experience wonderful films like this one. BLAISE, I'm trying to remember like the proper pronunciation for it, but this is a French animated film done in one of the most unique, interesting styles that I have ever seen. There is a realism to this almost like painted sort of appearance to it, almost like a hand-painted, drawn sort of thing, but there is almost a mixture of like 3D animation too. It's just got a very interesting kind of cel-shaded, kind of painted, cel-drawn. Everyone has these exaggerated large noses too, for the most part, which is really funny. But I mean, beyond the visual aesthetic of this film that was impressive and very quirky and unique and interesting is the writing, which is sophisticated and strange and, just falls into alignment with the quirkiness of the appearance and everything, because we follow the Sauvage family, and this was actually one that when I did my initial preview of the opening weekend of the festival, which runs now through August 2nd, so just a few days left, of the 18 in totality, I have reviewed something every single day, including this one, and I'm still going to be going into the week after the festival has concluded because I've had the opportunity so awesomely to see over 24 films at this point. Probably going to end up in the 30s by the end of it. But yeah, y'all, this movie was great. And I got the screener right away. And then it said that, max users, max viewers, whatever, and then I emailed the Fantasia peeps, and they were like, "Oh no, it's gonna refresh and allow people to get back on it." So I checked back periodically, and then today, as of this recording, it was finally back up and ready for me to watch. And damn am I glad that I did, because when I did that aforementioned preview, I said that our lead character, who was the boy in the Sauvage family, who's like a teenager, he's like 16, he's in high school, and so he's a little on like the odd and kind of introverted side of things. And the scene, I didn't see a trailer proper on Fantasia's website, but what they did have was what turned out to be the opening scene, which is where him, along with his mother and father, are sitting talking with the guidance counselor. And there's a really funny bit that they play with the guidance counselor in the fact that the parents are there, along with him, but yet, both the mother and the father, they have their own problems going on way beyond the introversion and kind of antisocial nature that the lead namesake boy is. Teenager, I guess. Boy's probably not the proper term. But yeah, so our lead teenager character, he has, it is minuscule in comparison with just the odd nature of both of his parents. So the father seems like he has kind of a crush on the best friend of the mother, and the mother has just started a new position. I was trying to remember as I was about to start filming this if she was in a new department with local government or something, or if it was just a brand new place of work for her. So I don't know if she got a promotion internally at the same place, but essentially she is the boss of this new trio of people, and you can tell that they're not exactly the hardest workers, because they welcome her with yeah, we're drinking grape juice, and we also have grapefruit juice, and they don't a phone starts to ring and they're immediately averse to even answering it, because they're like, yeah, we're celebrating you, we're welcoming you and everything. And then they put out some weird dance music and they start moving and grooving around and stuff. But there is a very funny, without spoiling things, there is a misunderstanding that happens with our lead character's mother at this new place of employment, where she kind of gets mad at one of the employees, and then it snowballs into something bigger and wilder. I mean, it's pretty damn amusing. The story with the father is a little bit less engaging because he's just kind of wormy. He has a complicated relationship with his mother, who is, kind of seeking some medical treatment and stuff. And so, it turns out the woman that is best friends with his wife, you know, she also works at the hospital, and so it's wondering. Their marriage just doesn't seem to be in the best place. It's not horrible, but it's just very, you know, very kind of blah, you know. And the boy, I keep saying the boy. So Blaise, the son, he is kind of brought out of his shell when he randomly goes to this party that the daughter of, you know, said husband's wife's friend. And I know I'm just giving so many details right now, but so. Long story short, he ends up going to a party with the daughter of one of his parents' friends, and that's where he meets this very rich, privileged girl who is at this protest party, because everybody at this party, it's hosted by this guy who's like very, you know, anti-establishment government, you know, he's reading like, you know, Marxism, stuff like that. And so we do have a pretty hefty political slant in this as well. Maybe less political and more so like social upheaval sort of thing, you know, corruption of government and things of that nature. But it also does poke fun at the people who want to utilize violence to do things of that nature. And so, you know, it does kind of, it skewers both sides of this sort of, you know, socio-political conflict, and that it is obviously happening in, you know, like France and whatnot, but I mean, it's happening in countries all over the world, including here in the States to, you know, varying degrees depending on what state you're in, but, and what your political affiliation is too, without getting into any of that. But yeah, he meets this girl there, the son, the Savage son, and it's an interesting romance between the two of them. It's definitely in line with the weird oddball nature of so many other things in this movie. So, yeah, the writing is very sharp wit. As I already mentioned, this very unique take on the animation and kind of the exaggerated features and things like that are just really great as well. And it kept me really just wondering where things were going to go with the Savage trio of characters in mother, father, and, you know, the son. And, you know, son is our main character, but we do, as I mentioned, spend a lot of time with the mother, a little bit less with the father. But, you know, there's definitely the most engaging narratives with, you know, mother and son in their separate little situations that they're navigating. And yeah, I mean, what a creative, I mean, this got a lot of praise when I believe it initially debuted at Cannes, if I recall correctly. And so this, I believe, was the North American premiere of this particular film, if I recall correctly. I just don't want to absolutely botch that, losing ratings right now. But yeah, man, I mean, this was just a whole lot of interesting fun. Let's just double check because I want to get this detail. Yep, so North American premiere. So, I mean, obviously with a lot of French speakers in the Great White North and everything, you know, the French-Canadian film scene, this would be right at home with that. So, yeah, a very dense narrative, a very, you know, quirky and fun narrative too. So I'm really glad that I maintained my vigilance to actually get the chance to check it out, because if you like interesting adult animation with, you know, just razor sharp wit and, you know, dialogue and social situations and just various different topics, but also a bit of satirism about it, which is another thing, you know, because it's a satirical slant on everything from romance to, you know, socio-political, you know, sort of protests to family dynamics. I mean, there's just a lot of interesting things going on here. So, everybody, that is going to conclude my thoughts on BLAISE, the BLAISE. There you go. If the concept intrigues you, if you like that sort of adult animation, I mean, things like Art School Confidential, and I mean, even some of the topics discussed in something like Waking Life. This doesn't have a psychedelic slant to it, although, boy, if you were under the power of something, I don't know, Locos Hongos or what have you, this film would probably trip you out, most notably, more so than anything, just its visual presentation with these, like, swollen, exaggerated noses on all of these characters. I showed it to my lady, and she's just like, oh my god, those people are creepy looking. And I believe that was the intention. So, yeah, that concludes my thoughts, everybody. I extend the grande gracias. I've been Jaimé En Fuego. You can find moi on all social media sectors. Twitter, X, Insta, the fake book, TikTok, although, yeah, the only stuff that I do on there is like short form reels, like out of theater reaction sort of stuff for bigger films. One of the more recent ones that I did was actually Her Private Hell that did not screen for virtual press, but it was the opening night film here at the Fantasia International Film Festival. So it's been a blast covering it. It's definitely going to be bittersweet here in a few days when the festivities conclude, but what an awesome opportunity once again. You know, grande gracias obviously to the press PR team that has assisted throughout with getting access to these screeners and all of the help and time out of their very busy days, I would imagine, just to send individuals like me on the other side of on the other side of North America practically, you know, just doing the extra diligent efforts, and it's greatly appreciated. So once again, I have been Fuego, y'all have been Rad Status, and until the Reel of Ka comes around once more, hasta luego, sin amigos, constant viewers, say thank you. I am hopeful that we have been well met. We share more of this cinema palaver sooner rather than later, and until mañana and my next Fantasia review, everybody, adios.